Okay, so can we just redo the...
Okay. So inside MUDFLOW folder, there are four PI files. The only one used to generate features and for classificationing is MUDFLOW.py. The first classification.py is called in MUDFLOW.py to classify the all the feature files.
So it has only the machine learning portion,
Yes.
and mudflowutils.py has the configuration files loaded
Yeah.
and handling the command line arguments, setting the RAM for FlowDroid, setting the timeout and all that.
Yes.
And global data contains your API, SOSI, sync, SOSI source,
Yeah.
all those dictionaries to be loaded and all those things.
Yes.
And so these are the 4 py files. Even though you have 4 py files, you can only call the mudflow.py from command line.
Yes.
So that's how you have coded. So that is kind of going to call all these in sequence, all
Yeah.
these 3 files in sequence, and also on top of that it does some functionality on its own.
Yeah.
Okay, can you put ls_jar? Yes. So this is all the jar files that you need for FlowDroid,
Yes.
and this all of this will be invoked from mudflow.py.
Yeah.
Okay, ls_star.json. Yeah, so you have two types of categories from SOSI. One is source category, the other one is sync category. You
Yeah.
have an API to source mapping, so you have two dictionaries corresponding to them, and these two will be loaded inside the global data.py.
Yeah.
Okay, now you are going to run the mudflow.py, and there are 4 command line arguments. You keep doing. So the first argument will be the malware directory, where you have the APKs of all the malware samples. The next one is the benign directory, where you have the APKs of all the benign samples, and third one is the bitmap. In mudflow you have 3 types of uh, flows, that is flow from a category to another category, source category to sync category, flow from a source class to sync class, flow from a source method to a sync method.
Yeah.
So you have these 3 levels of granularity, and you can play with this bitmap by using 100010001 and so on.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're just going to hit enter now. Yeah, so it will... Okay, can you delete the metadata folder? Now you're going to run it again. Yeah, so it's going to fetch all the APKs from all these directories, 2 directories, and then do the flow droid, and it's going to get the flows. And it's going to prepare a meta data and data, right?
Yeah.
So 2 new folders will be created, data and metadata. So if you go inside metadata, you can find 2 folders, benign and malware.
Yeah.
And inside benign you will have the flow droid output, the source to sync category flows, the class to class category flows, and then method to method flows for each application. So for one application there will be 4 files, like 1 txt and 3 JSON.
Yeah.
So can you open one txt for sample? Yeah. So we will use this one, like base bridge, this one as a canonical base sample, and we can see 4 files produced for this APK. Okay, 1 text and 3 JSON. So if you open the first JSON, you can see, yeah, you can see the category of source and the category of sync, that you have a flow in this application. Okay, so the grammar is like this, like you have a category and then a hyphen and then open angle brackets, and then there is source, and then within brackets the name of the source category, and then arrow which quantifies a flow, and then sync, and then the within brackets the name of the sync category and close angle brackets. So you can use this file to be text processed when you are loading your feature vectors.
Yeah.
Okay, and likewise you have the other 2 categories, method and class. Yeah, now we are going to see class. Yeah, so now instead of sync you have source or sync, you have the name of the class itself. And yeah, so we can, yeah, it's okay, we can close this. Likewise we don't need to open the method one, it's okay. So just open the txt one. So this is a very important file, which is a direct output of running the flow droid, right? So you have this application loaded, and flow droid finds all its sources and syncs within a given period of time, and dumps its logs. So this is a key file that you can use for, you know, any sort of processing in the future as well, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Inside data, there are two folders and
Yes, yeah. So after metadata is produced, you will go for classification.
yeah.
And inside data, you have two directories, benign and malware. Inside malware, you will produce all the feature files for that bitmap.
Yeah.
And for benign also, you do the same thing for that bitmap.
Yeah.
And after the classification is over, you will just delete this feature files from
Yes.
both directories, and you will only have a classification report which you can open and see. Yeah, so here you will come to know the size of the feature vectors, number of samples, accuracy, F measure, and also the top features for the classifier, top features per sample. So all those information will be stored here, and there will be no display on the terminal. So
Yeah.
you will only have to open this and then know it for yourself, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this is pretty much okay. So we try with some other bitmap, and then let's see.
Do we need to remove the metadata?
No, not required. This time we can just directly use the metadata.
So
0, 1, 0. Yes, that's all right.
So
No, just directly open from here, right? Because next time also.
yeah.
Okay, now you have 19 features, which means you have, more number of class. And why the number of features is increased? Because last time we had only 13, right?
The training
It's randomized.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, now you have this type of classes from source to sync class features. So your accuracy also kind of improves. So then finally you have for every sample the top features. For some APKs do not have any flows, so that's why you don't see. For example, the AI team silent toggle widget, the first APK here doesn't have any top features,
Yeah.
which means it doesn't have any flow at all, and that's why the classifier is not able to
Yeah,
identify
and
that.
there is another condition that FlowJoy cannot finish the FlowJoy
Okay,
FlowJoy
timeout.
process. Yes, within the timeout. Therefore, we will discard the
Partial
feature
flows.
file for this application.
Okay, under any failure circumstances, maybe it's not able to load, or maybe FlowDroid fails, or maybe FlowDroid times out. On
Yeah.
any of these conditions, you're not going to take any features from that application, and you just consider a zero feature, fully zero, right?
Yeah.
I think you better can remove that application, right? Because
Yes.
it might-
That's what I meant. We just remove the application from the
Oh.
training set.
Okay,
if
so
there is-
it's
if
it
it's
it is not
incomplete.
subjected to any classifier arithmetic at all.
Yeah.
Only for displaying, you just put that there,
Yeah.
but it is not going to go inside the.
Yes.
But in your training sample, can you just show the report one more time? Because we can see, yeah, you have 10 samples,
Yeah.
and the training matrix is 6 by 19, and the test matrix is 4 by 19, right? Which means all of them are subjected to classification here.
But in this case, this 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 feature this application with all zero features is completed, but contain no feature.
Okay, so I should not expect in the future that the total number of samples will be equal to the sum of the training and the test samples in this file.
Yes.
But in this case, it is true,
Yes,
but
it's-
it is not necessary.
Yes.
When I
We
do
will
the
discuss
classification
all
in the
the
future.
applications that are not finished the
Okay.
FlowJoy process within the timeout.
So when you report the accuracy, it's fine, but when you report the top features, how do you handle that case?
We do not report
Display.
those
Applications,
yeah,
top features at all.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that's about this one. So let's try the other category and then the all category. Yeah. Now just VI. Yes. The accuracy drops off. Okay. Okay, anyways, we have more features.
Yes.
Okay, and then we can see the method features. Okay, now we combine two. We combine two categories. 110. Yeah. Okay. What does it say?
This is because yeah, there's no box here, but this might be because classifier does not uh, classifying a positive sample. Yeah, but if you see the
Yeah.
we have both class and category features here.
Okay, so this is just to say that the classifier is just going to take everything as a positive sample, and it's not going to perform any classification. That's why you have
Yeah,
0%
it
definition.
cannot
Do a binary classification. Yeah. Okay, then 0 double 1 0 double 1. Yeah. Yeah, this is okay. Can we just check both? Yeah. Wait. Class and method combined, right?
yes.
The first is a class feature, second is a class feature, third also is class, fourth is method. Okay, can we just go to top of every app? Okay, now you see for base bridge app, class, method. Alright, so we put 111. Okay, yeah. Okay, so 54 is the largest that you can get. So there is class, there is method,
Also
and there is category. So the feature weight also is displayed besides this. Yeah, alright. Okay, so okay, now we have come to the end of FlowDroid execution, right? So when I want to archive the files, what should I archive for FlowDroid? I should archive the metadata.
Yes.
So you have also archived the same thing inside our NAS.
Yes.
But data is completely washed away every time you do
Yes.
the classification. And if you have metadata, it's good enough to go for
Yeah,
any
if you
type of
have the
classification.
FlowDroid output, it's good enough to generate all the features files within a very short time.
Okay, so my question is like you have this random training and the testing, right? How do I hold out a test set and then give it as an input to my flow? For example, if I want to use Drevin for training and Virashare for testing, how do I do it with this code?
If so,
I remember you did this, right?
no, I only did this for online training, but not for the MUDFLOW and individual. That might be Hoven's code.
No, but I remember putting it in my HSCCS paper. You showed some 80% accuracy, something like that for the same, same randomized training and testing, and about 50% accuracy for the holdout. So in that case, I need to edit the classification file. That's it, right?
Yes.
Can you open the classification file? I'll just have a quick look. Classify.py. Okay, can you go to the feature loading portion? So your tokenizer is very important here, right?
No, I did not use cause I generate all the JSON files for different levels. So the thing is, when I come to the classification portion, I combine different JSON files based on the selection. So I use the new line tokenizer here.
Just the new line tokenizer.
Yes.
Okay, so can you just give me the flow? What is happening inside this file? First, you go and you load the feature files, right? You're opening the output file to be written, write mode. Okay, and then you have this malware samples and benign samples loaded from that folders.
Yes.
and then you are displaying the size. Yeah. Okay, now you are having training and test split.
Yes.
Okay, here you are not randomizing anything, right? You are always giving the same 0,99. It can be random dot randint. Okay, I can change this. This is going to give you the same randomized numbers.
Yeah.
Okay, training test split of malware. So you will give 70/30. The split will be 0.3.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we are going to load the labels
Yeah.
and for the positive and the negative classes, and then we are going to make a list of the samples, and then wait, what are you doing here? Just go up. Training samples equal to train mal samples plus train good samples. Are they lists?
Yes.
Lists of names. Lists of names. Okay. And after that you are going to delete you want to free some space, so you delete the two lists, and then you put the total number of training samples, test samples, label and all that, and then you're going for new line tokenizer.
Mm-hmm.
And then you are fitting your tokenizer for what? Binary equal to false, and okay, here you are only counting the term frequency, right?
Yeah.
Lowercase is false, token pattern is none, tokenizer is new line, binary is false, D type is okay. So here you're only counting the term frequencies and you're not normalizing them.
Yes.
Okay, and after that you are going for linear SVC, and you are just initializing the default parameters and fitting the classifier with the fitting the classifier with the training and the test labels.
Yeah.
And you are using the classifier for prediction, and you estimate the accuracy, and then you get the report where you can see the position recall and F measure, and then you go ahead with printing the top features. So if I want to change the holdout and all that, then I need to completely rewrite this. I have to load from 4 different folders: training malware, training good, test malware, test good, and then make the training and the test set, and then build the model on the training set only, and then fit the model on the test set only, and then just reuse the code that lies below.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have always hard coded the number of top features for the classifier to be 100, also the number of top features per sample to be 20.
Yes.
Okay. Alright. Yeah, I think we have come to an end of the flow writing. So the most important point to note here, and also what is archivable here in MUDFLOW, is only the metadata. That is very, very important. If that is there, then we can play around with what type of classification we want. It's immaterial.
Yes.
The only point that is useful for the feature is the whole process that goes on till generation of metadata.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of flow writing and then parsing, making 3 different categories of features. That's a lot of work. So that is the important point that we are focusing on. Alright, so we conclude MUDFLOW here, or you want to add something? Is there anything that I know that I need to know?
No.
Okay, so we stop the MUDFLOW recording now.